All right, so you're thinking about jumping into the world of communication infrastructure. Pretty exciting stuff, especially getting ready for those interviews, right?
Yeah, getting ready for the interview is key.
But luckily, we've got your back.
We've got all kinds of tips and tricks for you.
We'll tackle those tough questions,
Yeah, those really hard-hitting ones.
give you some answers that'll knock their socks off,
Some real solid answers.
and sprinkle in some of that insider knowledge from RoleCatcher.
That's right, some real career gold from RoleCatcher's resources.
Because let's be real, those resources are like a treasure chest.
They really are a treasure chest of information.
Okay, so picture this. You're face-to-face with the hiring manager, and they hit you with, can you describe your experience with communication infrastructure maintenance?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Where do you even begin?
I think that's where a lot of people freeze up.
Yeah.
Even if they have the experience, they just clam up.
Yeah, they need specifics. They don't want to hear a bunch of jargon.
Absolutely.
So even if you've never had the official job title,
Yeah,
think about like times you've actually dealt with this stuff hands-on.
that's right. Get those hands dirty.
So like even fixing your home Wi-Fi, that counts, right?
Absolutely. That totally counts. Walk them through it.
Okay.
How did you isolate that problem?
Right.
Did you test the connection? Maybe even try a different router configuration? All of that shows you understand the basics.
Yeah, it shows them that you're not afraid to problem solve.
Exactly. And, RoleCatcher can actually help you beef up those answers even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll suggest ways to weave in those industry keywords without sounding like a robot.
Right, because nobody wants to hear that.
No, they want to hear a human.
Okay, so next curveball.
Yeah.
How do you troubleshoot communication infrastructure issues?
Oh, they're really looking for a superhero with this one.
I know, it feels like it.
But they really want to see your thought process.
Okay,
Think of it like detective work.
right.
How do you approach a problem step by step? And mention those diagnostic tools, but get specific. Don't just say cable tester. Tell them about using an OTDR for fiber optics
Oh.
or a spectrum analyzer for wireless.
Okay, those sound intense.
They are a little bit, but that's the level of detail that shows you're not just,
Googling it.
yeah, Googling on the fly.
Right.
You've got the knowledge.
You know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And that's where RoleCatcher comes in again.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It can give you feedback on how confident you sound when you're using those terms.
Well, that's really cool.
It's like having a personal coach right in your pocket.
I love that.
Okay, let's talk organization. How do you prioritize and manage your workload when maintaining communication infrastructure?
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
Because it's like they're asking you to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle.
And it's not like these things break down at a convenient time.
Ever.
They want to hear about your systems, your ticketing systems, project management tools,
Mhm.
whatever keeps those plates spinning.
So saying something like, I use a priority matrix based on urgency and business impact would be good here.
Absolutely. That's perfect.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to talk about a time when everything went wrong
Oh, yeah.
and how you stayed calm and fixed it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about something that can definitely go wrong. VoIP.
Oh, VoIP. Ubiquitous?
It seems like every company uses it.
Every single one.
What if they ask, can you describe your experience with VoIP technology?
All right, well, this is where you prove you're not stuck in the past.
Right.
Even if you haven't worked with those big enterprise-level systems, talk about setting up maybe a home VoIP,
Okay.
troubleshooting those quality issues, anything that shows you get the basics.
Because let's be honest, even setting that up at home can feel like rocket science sometimes.
Oh, tell me about it. It can get complicated.
Okay, so let's say you nailed the VoIP question.
Okay.
But then they follow up with, how do you ensure the security of communication infrastructure?
Ooh, now the pressure's on.
Right. Because security is no joke.
No, it's not.
So what are they even looking for here?
They want to know that you take security seriously.
Okay.
This is where you break out all the good stuff. Firewalls, encryption access controls.
It's all about those specifics again.
Absolutely.
So instead of just saying firewall, I could say something like, I'd implement a next-generation firewall with intrusion prevention capabilities.
Exactly. So you get it.
Okay, good.
It shows them you understand the details, not just throwing around buzzwords.
And this is also a good time to mention those certifications, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Those are like gold.
Like the CCNA, CCNP, those are the big ones,
Yeah,
right?
to the ones everyone's looking for.
They prove that you're serious about this.
Absolutely.
And you know what else is a gold mine?
What's that?
RoleCatcher's Career Guide,
Oh, yeah. It's got a whole section on those certifications.
which is super helpful.
It really is. Breaks down which ones are most relevant and what kind of salary bump you can expect.
So it's not just about getting your foot in the door. It's
Oh,
about
yeah.
that long-term career trajectory.
That's right. You got to think long term.
Okay, and speaking of long-term success, let's talk about teamwork.
Ooh, teamwork.
How do you collaborate with other IT teams when maintaining communication infrastructure?
Oh, I like this one.
Because it's a team sport.
Huge team sport.
Yeah.
You've got your networking gurus, your security hawks, your help desk heroes, and you've got to be able to work with all of them.
So it's not enough to just be a tech whiz. You've got to be a communication champion.
You said it. Yeah, you got to be able to explain things in a way that makes sense even to someone who doesn't speak tech.
Right. It's about translating that tech jargon.
Exactly.
And I bet having a really good example, a specific story about a time you teamed up with another team to solve a tough problem that would really impress them.
Oh, for sure. They eat that stuff up.
Speaking of tough problems, let's talk about staying ahead of the game. What happens when they ask, how do you stay up to date on the latest communication infrastructure technologies and trends? You just like rattle off a list of websites?
You could, but it's got to be more than just reading headlines, you know?
Right.
Think about professional development conferences like Cisco Live certifications like the BICSI RCDD for cabling design.
Wait, BICSI RCDD. I've never heard of that one.
It stands for Building Industry Consulting Service International Registered Communications Distribution Designer. It's a mouthful, for sure.
It is a mouthful.
But it's a really well-respected certification in the industry.
Okay, because it shows you really understand those structured cabling systems.
Exactly. And those are like the backbone of any communication network.
So having these certifications on your resume, that's like a golden ticket.
It definitely helps. It shows that you're serious about learning and growing.
And that's so important in this field because it's constantly changing.
Oh, yeah, it never stops.
RoleCatcher can help you figure out which certifications are key, right?
Absolutely. Their career guide breaks it all down.
Yeah, it's seriously a goldmine of information.
It really is. It's like having a roadmap for your career.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about problem solving.
All right.
Because things don't always go as planned. And that's where those behavioral questions come in.
Oh, yeah.
The dreaded behavioral questions.
Like, can you describe a time when you had to resolve a complex communication infrastructure issue?
I bet you've got some stories about that.
Oh, I'm sure you do too.
A few. But this is where you really get to show off how you think on your feet.
Right. It's not just about what you know, but how you handle those pressure cooker moments.
Exactly. So walk them through your process step by step.
Okay.
Did you have a method? What tools did you use? And what was the result?
So don't just say, I fixed it. You've got to paint the picture for them.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get a little technical here.
Okay.
Mention those protocols, the configurations, anything that shows off your deep knowledge.
And having RoleCatcher to help you practice those answers, that's got to be a game changer.
Oh, yeah. It's like having a whole panel of experts giving you feedback.
Okay, so you've aced the problem-solving question.
All right, nice.
But then they hit you with this. How do you prioritize security when maintaining communication infrastructure? Ooh, they're really trying to trip you up now.
I know, right? It feels like a trick question.
It's not a trick question, but it is a vital one. They want to know that you understand security is paramount.
So how do we show them that?
Start by making it clear that security is always top of mind.
Okay.
And then get specific.
Right.
Do you do regular security audits? Are you on top of those access controls? Do you keep up with the latest security patches and best practices?
So it's really about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. Show them you're not messing around when it comes to security.
Okay, good to know. Now let's imagine the interview is winding down.
Right.
And they throw in one last curveball.
Oh.
How do you handle communication infrastructure issues during peak usage times? Talk about pressure.
Oh, yeah. That's the ultimate test.
Right, because the stakes are high.
They are. So walk them through your process.
Okay.
Do you have an escalation procedure? How do you prioritize? And how do you keep everyone in the loop while you're fixing things?
It's almost like you're a conductor.
Kind of. You're
Yeah.
managing the chaos.
Making sure everyone stays informed.
Exactly. And don't forget those soft skills we talked about, communicator collaboration, staying calm under pressure.
And I bet having some good stories about those high-pressure moments, that would really seal the deal.
Oh, yeah. Real-world examples are gold.
Because it shows you can handle it.
Been there, done that.
Okay, before we move on, we talked about certifications earlier.
Right.
But I think it's worth emphasizing just how important they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're like gold stars on your resume.
They show potential employers you've got the goods.
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher can help you figure out which certifications are the most valuable,
I
right?
mean, they can. Their career guide is a fantastic resource for that.
Yeah, it's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
I love that analogy.
Okay, so we've talked about nailing those interview questions,
We've covered a lot of ground.
but there's one more piece of the puzzle.
What's that?
Networking.
Ah, yes. The
Oh,
art of building connections.
right. It's not just about collecting a million LinkedIn connections.
No, not at all. It's about building real relationships,
Yeah.
having conversations,
Yeah.
finding those people who can help you grow.
And speaking of growth, I think it's time we really dig into RoleCatcher's AI,
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
because it can be a game changer when it comes to prepping for interviews.
Absolutely. It's like having a secret weapon.
We've touched on it a bit,
Yeah.
but let's really unpack how it can help with those curveball questions and just projecting confidence in general.
Let's do it.
Okay, so how does RoleCatcher's AI actually work? It's not just like I type in a question and it spits out a perfect answer, right?
No, it's way more sophisticated than that.
Okay.
It's tailored to specific job roles like communication infrastructure maintainer.
So it's not just giving me the same old generic advice.
Nope. It's analyzing thousands of real interview questions and answers
Oh,
for
no.
this exact role.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so you're getting hyper-relevant insights.
Okay, so it's specific to the job I'm going for.
Exactly.
But how does it actually help me practice?
Well, you can actually practice answering questions out loud,
Oh,
just like you would in the interview.
Okay.
And get this, it provides AI-powered feedback on your delivery.
Well, hold on. It's analyzing how I'm speaking.
It is. It can tell if you're using too many filler words.
Oh, no.
Your pace, your tone of voice. It's like having a virtual coach right there with you.
So it's like having a mirror.
Exactly, helping you see how you come across.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't even realize how we sound.
Right.
And the feedbacks, is it like pretty generic? Or is it really specific?
It's super specific.
Oh, wow.
It might tell you to slow down, project your voice more, even use stronger language.
So it's not just what you say, but how you say it,
Exactly. It's all about presentation.
which is so important in interviews.
Oh, it's everything.
It sounds like RoleCatcher has really thought of everything.
They really have. And the best part is it's constantly learning and improving.
Oh, wow. So it's always getting smarter.
Always.
That's pretty incredible.
It is. It's an amazing tool.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We have. We've talked about those tough interview questions, certifications, networking, and even the power of AI.
And most importantly, I hope our listeners feel ready to go out there and crush those interviews.
I hope so too. Remember, confidence is key.
It really is. Believe in yourself, show them what you know, and don't be afraid to let that passion for technology shine through.
That's right. Enthusiasm goes a long way.
It really does. And who knows, maybe we'll see you out there building the networks of the future.
That's what I like to hear. Go get 'em.
And as you step into that exciting world, here's something to think about. With all these new technologies popping up like 5G and the Internet of Things, how do you see the role of a communication infrastructure maintainer changing in the years to come? It's something to ponder. Good luck out there.